Today we take a look at not one dinosaur, but two dinosaurs. Man, I cannot wait. Might be looking at two of the second best figures that NECA has ever released. And why do I say that? And what does that mean? And it's all subjective underneath of the Ninja Turtles, of course. This is NECA's wheelhouse, I think. We'll find out. I mean, I haven't even opened these things yet. I'm just speculating. What I'm trying to say is that I think the Jim Henson stuff is what NECA does best. So let's just get into this thing because we got a lot to look at. Obviously, there's two boxes of things. This can be overwhelming sometimes. So let's just speed through these boxes because we got a nice shot of not the figure, okay? Not the figure. Because, I mean, the details in there, the eyes and stuff, this might have been like an early concept piece or something because those look like giant marble eyes. The figure does not look like that. I'll show you. Yeah, even the shape of the shirt is a little bit different. See? That's different. Not the same thing. This is all wrinkly. That's not. Anyway, so there, clarified. There you got a figure shot on the side of the box, and back of the box we get some nice shots with a collect them all, which is only just one other character, which is a bit of a bummer. I do like that it's 60,000,003 BC, and then it actually lists out everything that's in there, so we know what those things are called because the box will tell us that, and I will forget. And then the bottom of the box, which is Comic Sans. What did you? Who did this? Who did the packaging? Chris Longo, what are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna relax and assume that this is the show's credits font. And that's why you chose that, because this is definitely not worth talking about. And then you get instructions on this, which is nice. Okay, cool. Flip it open. We saw that a second ago. Awesome shot, photography, love it. Earl Sinclair, who is AKA Carl Winslow of the Dinosaurs. So if you like Family Matters, you can have your Carl Winslow in dinosaur form. At least that's what my child brain always thought. Look at these shots. He's got a beer, I'm assuming. And then collect them all, same bio thing, and then what all is included inside the box. And again, on the bottom of the box, so it's always nice to see who's involved in this stuff. So they actually hired out a studio, and then a We Say So. I don't know who that is. Is that connected to something over here? This is new to me. Flip it open. There you go with a nice shot and the product, which looks identical. Look at that. I can't, I mean, it should obviously, but I am super stoked to get this guy out of the box, but it looks like he's got a little chin scratch. Oh no. So let's get these things out of the box. Not the mama. All right, so we got the boxes gone, obliterated into space, and we got the super blurry because it looks like it was a really low res image, but that's okay. I mean, you're coming from the 90s. Who would even have those files in large format? Baby and daddy. We got a lot of plastic. He's got tons of accessories. He's got a few, but that's the balance, I think, because they're both the same price. And if you enjoy this show, then support me by joining over on Ko-fi. Become a channel member. You can join just as low as $5 a month, and that all goes to help fund more things for this show. So thank you so much. Click the link and we'll see you over there. Lots of stuff, folks. Let's jump into it. Let's start over here with the little baby boy. So he's got his tail, which is going to attach to his little butthole here. It's very simple. It's easy to do. I probably should have done that after I put him in the chair. Who knows? Let's go over the accessories here. We have the high chair, baby bottle, bowl, spoon, slingshot, baby blanket, TV remote, baseball bat, frying pan, caveman cookie, stuffed dinosaur toys, Georgie the hippo, golden horn head, interchangeable hands, and of course, the Woozle Wuzzle. And with Earl Sinclair, not Carl, I'm gonna have the hardest time getting that right. His tail also, which, oh my goodness, so many levels of articulation. It's almost like animatronics level. I love it. So with him, what do we get? We get a TV remote, a 6-pack, captain's hat, Fernhill mug, interchangeable head, and hands. So we got a lot of stuff. I'm super excited about these things. These are some of the figures that I've been the most amped for since they first showed them off. I don't even remember, 2022 probably? So Baby Sinclair, these stuffed animal toys are super adorable. I would say these are more like action figures, right? They're heroes. Sammy from TV with all the, famous character from TV. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What are these things called? I forget. I had a whole thing on dinosaurs I've done before in the past on my other channel. Look at this guy, super adorable, love it. These are such cute little items. great for really anything because you can have stuffed toys for a lot of your figures. And then we get this blanket piece, which is just going to go onto, I believe, the back side of this thing, which is probably, I don't know, was it to give it character? Or was it some kind of thing put in the show to, like, it covered wires probably for the baby? The spatula, which is just the choice of the spatula being in there is really wild. This is a very delicate piece, so I would say be very careful with that handle and what you put it in for gripping things. Then we have this baseball bat, which is pretty basic, nothing spectacular here. It's got some, you know, generic levels of paint. So they each have a TV remote. I'm sure that plays on something in the show. It's been since I was a child since I've seen it. About 6 months ago, I think I started watching the show again, watched episode 1, and realized that they didn't do any sound design on episode 1. I don't know if they changed that later on. I hope so, but episode 1, there's no like extra noise happening. It's just the voiceover. So it's a mute track, and then they just do voiceover, which is, it was really weird. Then you get this bowl, which is good for putting things into. We got the hands here, which you got this nice thick gripping hand, which will be good for, I don't know, stuff, the bottle probably. You got a medium gripping hand, which is here, and it kind of has like a relaxed look to it. You got a very tight grip for the right hand. So probably good for something like, I don't even know, the spatula probably won't even fit in that. And this one, this is definitely for the spatula. So this is the tightest grip out of all of them, which looks great. I love these little details. We got the slingshot, which is pretty basic. You can't do too much with it. I would say just be careful with this part because eventually that could probably come unplugged, but you could just glue it back in. The wood texture looks really nice. The bottle is here. It's very simple. Nothing too special about that one. The paint's a little okay. Then we have the caveman cookie, which is pretty funny. That's, I guess it's, tis the season, right? For gingerbread cavemen. The frying pan, which is probably the most iconic item for baby Sinclair to hold because he was a big cook. Everybody remembers that from the show. And the woozle wuzzle, which is this thing. Look at it. I'm pretty sure this was a creature that was alive in the show, not just a stuffed animal. I don't know. Who knows anymore with our brains? Our dumb brains forget everything. Almost forgot about this big boy. This is the biggest one in the set. Very nice. It's kind of a Barney themed looking guy. And his alternate head, the golden horn head, which I believe is something that actually like grew out of him at one point. Like he was, he matured and this came out of him. This isn't like an ice cream cone upside down on his dumb little baby head. Here we go with the baby himself, Baby Sinclair, looking really nice, man. You almost looks like you could articulate the mouth, but you cannot, which is that's kind of a bummer. But as small as it is, it would be a miracle if they could do that. But looking at those details, so this is the difference between the box, right? The box cover showed the eyes that looked super glossy, and I wish that these had a nice level of gloss on them to really simulate that kind of marble glass eye look of the animatronics. Are they animatronics? What would you call them? They're kind of like a mix between people being puppets and animatronics. Oh, the hand popped right out of there. Right out of there. So let's just take a look at the hand since it came out, but it's got a, so they used a base plastic color and then painted on top of it for the finish, which is nice. So if paint chips, it's not gonna look weird with a different color underneath. And the shirt, which is, it's pretty basic, but it's done in a way, I'm sure, to allow maximum articulation on this tiny little guy. The edges of the sleeve on this one at least is flesh toned, which is a little weird. So we actually have some body articulation. That is totally unexpected. But we've got this thick, poopy filled diaper. I'm sure of it because he's a baby, and babies are just, that's all they do is poop. The paint and colors and textures, these are all so good. The tail is, you can't really, there's no section of articulation here. It's just it's got a flat side, like triangle based, I guess. So you could flip it this way and it's kind of flat, flip it this way, it's kind of flat. But the articulation, let's see, he's got this head, which does just fine, nothing spectacular considering his size. The arms, which have better range than you would think for such a little baby boy. And then the arms, there's no rotation other than the shoulders. And then you get the wrist joint, which is pretty standard. And I think it's gonna work just fine for what we need. The top has some articulation, and the legs, which oddly enough, you know, you never saw him that I remember running around, always just in that chair. So it's great. It's perfect. It's exactly what you would want out of this little guy, because he's just gonna sit in that chair and be cute and say not the mama. The chair, so we kind of looked at this for a second. So we put this towel on the back. It's got this specific like cut here to look like it's resting. So these are nice details, right? To consider the sculpt of how it's supposed to lay on there and look finished. Everything's got like this made of rock kind of thing. This is it's kind of perfect for the world, the dinosaur world. I'm loving it. It's gonna pop up from the front, and then you're gonna slide the back side out from underneath the back of it, which is probably the ideal way to do this. So you can get him inside his little high chair and then put this thing on top. And this is why his articulation doesn't really matter, because you just, there's nowhere for him to go with his cute little beans. Oh my God, I'm in love with this thing so much already. Let's look over here at Earl Sinclair. He's also got a TV remote. It's a little bit different, obviously, with the color and the big, large button missing from the top of it, but whatever. We have this 6-pack, which is called Lava Lager, which is hilarious. And according to yep, there we go. Lost forever. Nicely done on this whole 6-pack thing, because these cans can actually come out. The cans can. And he's got his Fern Hill mug, which I definitely don't remember anything about. It kind of looks like a Popeye character. Got an earring. Details are really great. Look at all the texture in this thing. This is really, really nice. We have his captain's hat, which looks like this. I don't remember anything about this either. I remember seeing him wear it, but why does he have it? He's got a pointing finger, which is mirrored left and right side. So these are going to be the exact same thing, which is nice. And you get a left and right hand, which kind of look like somewhat gripping hands, but they're a little bit different. And a tight left hand. Oh, there we go. Is that right? There we go. I'm dumb. So you have a left and right that match with this kind of semi grip and out of focus camera. And then you have this hand, which is a nice semi-medium grip. Don't know what he's gonna hold with that. And you got this one, which is kind of a relaxed, kind of reaching out hand. We have this alternate head for Earl with his eyes to the right a little bit, because he's usually, is that how it's supposed to be, or is mine a little wonky? Uh-oh. I mean, I think that's right. There may be a little crazy-eyed, but he's supposed to be looking to the right because he's usually looking at the baby at the table, right? The details, good Lord, this is fantastic. It's like, how did you guys even find the details to do this? I don't know if it would have been possible or how I would have felt with it, but it would have been incredible to see this with a soft goods piece. But maybe this is the right choice, because sometimes soft goods can look a little wonky. I don't know how you get the collar to lay right, and it might have been too thick. But looking at his details, so same kind of thing with the eyes. It's kind of the same thing we've been seeing with some other brands like Hasbro, where they get this like dot matrix digital printing. So it looks fine. Looks honestly wonderful from here with my face. Unfortunately, he does have this little nick that we saw in the box. I ordered this from Best Buy on Wednesday or Thursday, I think, and then got it today. Saturday is today. But his details, of course, just like the other head, fantastic. I kind of wish that there was some articulation in the mouth, but it's whatever. If it would have ruined the sculpt, then not worth it. So his hands, by default, he's got this kind of relaxed hand over here on both sides. This is such a nicely done figure. The pattern in this shirt has come across very, very nicely. All the textures all the way down through the body. I mean, this really does pull this thing right from the show. The only thing that's weird, and we've seen this with other figures that are supposed to be like really heavy like this. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but you get this like weird cutout thing because it's hard plastic. Although I say that and it's actually really soft, but you wouldn't be able to get the legs to look right as it does in the show, because it would have been this like big fluffy thing that would have moved with the leg. Whatever. Let's talk about the articulation. So his head swivels around. It doesn't really have much up and down like at all, which is, it's fine. Honestly, these are going to be figures that are just going to look good on the shelf. You're going to kind of mock something up from the show and you're going to be totally content with these things. So the elbows are just single joints, pretty simple. The pattern still goes on underneath, which is nice. You got wrist articulation, which is super standard. And a surprising feature is that it does have like crunch going on. Just not a lot of range, but still, that's better than nothing. And then you get some rotation, you can lean left and right. So this is a lot more than you would expect. He's got, I mean, he could do straight up splits, man. This is like the Van Damme of dinosaurs. You guys didn't know that? Earl Sinclair, AKA Van Dinosaur. We have the knees, which articulate just a little bit, but I mean, he can't really, what's he gonna do with his legs? You got the ankles, which are really good, honestly. The foot articulation, it does go forward and backward a little bit. The biggest surprise, I think, probably is the body articulation, but then I love that this tail is segmented like one of those little snakes that you pick up in a dollar store or whatever. This is really, really nice. It rotates at every section, and of course has this like ball joint. This is great. Oh my god, I love these things already. They do have foot pegs, or he does anyway. They desperately need to make the other characters of this show. If these are all running like $34 to $37 or whatever, what do you think is gonna cost to do his boss, that huge Triceratops stuck inside that little trailer on the job site? That guy is massive, and maybe they could just do him at a desk and he's just there like that, or they do like a half a trailer thing and he's inside of that thing. So you get this like kind of mini diorama. That would be incredible. That could be easily a $70 figure based on his size and depending on how much they expand it. And I would pay for it. I love it. This is a beautiful thing. My memories are just overloaded right now with nostalgia. Unboxed. Ding. I didn't have to promote myself. You're already here. These are beautiful. This is the most spectacular thing that I've gotten from NECA in a long, long time. The turtles themselves get me to feel this way. These are right there with them, if not even better. We only got 2 characters right now, but just look at this. This is the highest level of nostalgia from NECA that I've gotten aside from Ninja Turtles. I'm saying it right now. Gonna go all in on everything they make from this line. If they keep going, please NECA, keep going. In fact, let's get accessory sets. Let's get a diorama of their kitchen scene. Let's do this. I'm ready. Wait, are you guys doing it? Come on. Thank you all so much for watching. Click the top link to watch the after show where I go into a little bit more details after posing and everything. And we will see you next time.